too many.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Erby?
Here.
Second council district seat is vacant. Councilmember Wassinger? Here. Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Here.
Councilmember Stanger?
Here.
Councilmember?
Here.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Approval of the journal.
I move for the approval of the journal of the meeting of April 22nd, 2014.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The journal is approved. I move to suspend the rules for adoption of resolution number 2 and for presentation of a proclamation.
Second. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The rules are suspended. Please read resolution number 2.
Resolution number 2, introduced by Councilmembers Erby, Wassinger, Dolan for O'Meara, Dolan, Stanger, and Quinn. Resolution. Whereas for more than 100 years, the women of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated have been committed to public service in the St. Louis area and to the protection of basic human rights and liberties. And whereas Delta Sigma Theta's slogan, uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment, emphasizes dedication to causes of which the County Council is fully supportive. And whereas the County Council is proud to acknowledge the presence of Delta Sigma Theta sorority at the meeting of the County Council held this date and encourages like-minded St. Louis Countyans to emulate the outstanding efforts of the members of this fine organization in doing what they can to aid the less privileged of our society. Now therefore be it resolved by the County Council of St. Louis County, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the County Council declares April 29th, 2014 as Delta Day at the County Council.
I move for adoption of resolution number 2.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Resolution number 2 is adopted. May we have the ladies from Delta please come down to the front? Please come down to the front. County Dooley.
Okay.
No, I don't know. Again, welcome and congratulations on your, is this your 10th year? 9th? 16. Coming here? 16. Oh, I thought you first came when I came. I always enjoy celebrating with you. I still will though. We appreciate you, your interest in county government and they want to make sure they get a picture with the county.
Hold on 1 second. You have a couple more coming. You guys stand back here and you get in there.
Oh, you want us to stand back there?
Yeah, then you get in the picture.
Let's go stand back.
There you go. Stand in there.
We're gonna be part of the council now.
Are you sure you want to do that? Later.
See bid? We have no bid openings this evening, so we'll move to communications.
Madam Chair, there are no tax compromises, zoning matters, or road and bridge matters this evening, so move to other communications. Under other communications, item number 1, all districts.
Receive and file, and that will be the order.
Item number 2, first district.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation, and that will be the order.
Item number 3, second district.
I can do it. Oh, they wanted to approve it? That's what they want?
Yeah, that's for the airport, for the.
Okay. Receive, file, and the license be approved as requested.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 4, third district.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 5, sixth district.
Receive, file, and the temporary expansion of premises be approved as requested. Same motion for item number 6.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 7, seventh district.
Receive, file, and the change of managing officer be approved as requested.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 8, first district.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. Same motion through item number 10, and that will be the order.
Item number 11, fifth district.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation, and a copy of this report be sent to the city of Rock Hill.
So ordered.
Item number 12, fifth district.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation, and a copy of this report be sent to the city of Webster Groves.
So ordered. Please read the add-ons.
Item number 1, first district.
Receive, file, and the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. Same motion for item number 2. And that will be the order. County Executive Dooley, do you have any report?
Madam Chair, on May the 3rd and the 4th, that's Saturday and Sunday of this week, we have the 50-year anniversary of the Spirit Airport celebration. We also will have the Blue Angels will be here on Saturday and Sunday from 1 o'clock to 3:30, the air show. And for those that are 12 or under, it is free. Thank you, Madam Chair.
There are no reports of special committees this evening, so we'll move to the public forum. We have 13 speakers.
Yes, ma'am.
We have 13 speakers. Jim will call your name. I ask you to keep your comments to 3 minutes.
First speaker this evening is Walt Bivens.
You should know that a former politician can hardly introduce himself in 3 minutes. It's dangerous to turn the microphone over to a politician, as you probably know, Mr. Dooley.
Yeah.
Thank you for the time to be here this evening, Madam Chair, Mr. Dooley, and members of the council. My name is Walt Bivens, and I live in the Oakville Township of South St. Louis County. And I'm here today to discuss the substitute bill number 1, or substitute bill number 1 for bill number 73. Specifically, if you have that bill, it's on page, my specific concern is on page 3, paragraph 5. And I had not read the bill before I got here this evening and got a copy of the bill. And just to refresh those who may not have looked at it recently, it has to do with rental property. And the concern that I would have is It doesn't specifically address this, but the concern that I would have is a personal concern, and concerns that my neighbors would have. Neighbors have had exchange students in their homes before. I have living in my home on a pretty permanent basis my grandson, and on a semi-permanent basis, a great-granddaughter. This could liberally be construed to require me to have a license to have them in my home. And my suggestion would be, if you're going to pass this bill, is that you have an amendment which would specifically exclude those types of, if you will, guests in your home or semi-permanent residents. There are concerns of others that you're taking away their personal rights by requiring them to have a license, and I understand that. But my specific concern would be, as I expressed, for those relatives or guests that I would have in my home. And again, if you are going to pass it, it would be much more palatable to me if it did have an amendment that would exclude those. Having said that, again, I appreciate the time to express my concern, and best of luck to each of you. Thank you.
Okay.
Madam Chair, can I ask a question of the counselor? Pat, is there something in this ordinance that says that if you have your niece living with you, you have to get a permit, or is it?
No, it actually only permits renting the property to someone as the proposed principal occupant. So I would say a grandchild or a student for the year, or a friend staying with you. They're not the principal occupant. If the owner of the property lives on the property, I don't see this as applying.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Dennis Baver.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dennis Beaver. I'm a landlord in South County. Get my crib sheet here. Okay. There's a website I've gone to. It's called howmoneywalks.com. If you've ever looked at this website, you can see pretty clearly that St. Louis County is in decline. People are leaving St. Louis County. And it looks to me like this particular bill, this landlord licensing bill, makes it tougher to do business in St. Louis County. And I would say that that's not a solution to keeping people here. I would add to that this is a taking of property. I have rights that came with the property, and one of those rights was to rent that property. This bill proposes to take that right from me and cause me to have to get a license for it. When that happens, that's a taking, and the taking needs to be compensated. I guess you could do that by eminent domain or something like that, but it is a taking of a property right, so it needs to go beyond just a county law. The third thing I have to say, if you want to have a tax, if you want to make more money, which I'm sure you do, because that's what we do, why don't we just be upfront and have a tax? Just call it a tax. And then the fourth thing that kind of bothers me is, who does this really affect? Who throughout the county does this really affect? And I think it really hits the poor people the hardest because, as renters, it puts just so many burdens up on everybody that's involved in this. So I think it's going to, it certainly makes me think twice about renting my property, and that means that there's probably, somebody that may not get to live there, and on and on and on. So I just want to register that I do not like this idea in any way whatsoever, and I'd appreciate it if you just would not pass this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker.
Madam Chairman, could I ask the question of the county councilor? I'm not really in favor of this ordinance, but isn't it the case that there is no cost involved in this, is there?
There are no fees for this, that's right.
That's immaterial.
Next speaker is William Pullen, and after Mr. Pullen will be Will Jordan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I guess, I'll just make this brief. Why do we need this? That's the only question I have, is why do we need this on the books? If one, you're not making any money from it, if it's free, we're loaded down with laws anymore. Why is this necessary? Sir? I'm not the sponsor of this
I'm
bill.
sorry, we can't address it because the sponsor is not here. That's Councilman O'Meara. So he isn't here tonight.
Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Next speaker is Will Jordan. Mr. Jordan will be followed by Kathy Armbruster.
Okay, Honorable County Executive Dooley. My name is Will Jordan. I'm the Executive Director of the Metropolitan St. Louis Equal Housing Opportunity Council. And believe it or not, we're not often kind of on the same side of the landlords. But today, the case is that our fates are wrapped up together because of the people that they house. And their options are really limited. I've got a letter that I've sent to each one of you. I'm going to be really brief. The second point in my letter is about fair housing concerns. The possibility exists that the ordinance can have a very disproportionate effect on minority families, on victims of domestic violence, and on persons with disabilities. If a landlord's rental license is revoked according to the process detailed in the ordinance, the landlord is apparently required to vacate all tenants from all of his rental properties. If that's true, such an outcome would have a disproportionate adverse effect on minority families, victims of domestic violence, and persons with disabilities, and typically really all protected classes under the Fair Housing Act. The procedure for suspending or revoking a landlord's license do not allow, for example, exceptions made for victims of crime, particularly domestic violence victims, which could mean that victims are less likely to reach out to the police for assistance in situations like that, and could lead to some serious and tragic consequences. It's a really good attempt. We have issues in our office with irresponsible landlords. That's 50% of all the work we do. The issue with this particular bill is that it's kind of one size fits all. And dealing with public nuisances, the ordinance and the violations, the limits a landlord's ability to make a reasonable accommodations to the rules for the sake of the tenants that are in different situations. And that in particular is the reason why I'm standing here today. It can have a really long-term negative effect on the work that we do at EHOC. And so I really urge the council members to kind of think about ways or to kind of amend it. I think it's a good attempt. That's the same bailiwick we deal with every day, but the problem is if the landlords are held down to that really, really hard standard, more than likely the tenants are going to suffer really fast. So it's something to think about. Please read the email, and I hope that we can help to get this to the point where it's really good. Thanks.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Kathy Armbruster, followed by Patricia Breed.
Thank you for listening to me tonight. My name is Kathy Armbruster, live in Lee, and I really appreciate it that this doesn't pass tonight. And it's just doing this to the landlords is just gonna pass it on to the renters, and you're just attacking the poor people, and that's the reason why they're renting to begin with. And they can't afford a home. And what I see is you're taking the people's rights away, their personal property rights, and you're doing it again. And all this is just a money grab to me. If it's costing more money, one way or another, it's gonna cost the people more. And it's invasion of privacy, that's the way I see it. And if I would, as a Christian, if I wanted to rent my room out to someone or a house out to someone that is in need to stay temporary, then I couldn't even help them out. I would have to go get a license, for a landlord license, and what I understand, I know there has to be a cost somewhere. And it's just a hassle, a burden, a hardship on all the people. And if you were in that predicament, you would know it. And I know a lot of people that are landlords, and, you know, they can't help the people out if they have to go through all this. And we don't need another ordinance. You know, enforce the ordinances that you have now, but we don't need another one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Patricia Breed, followed by David either Basso or Babo, I'm not sure.
My question is, how do you define landlord? I have a grown son who lives at home with us. At what age do you determine that, you know, this child is no longer your child, but becomes somebody that you have to get a license for to have in your home? Or what happens if we have a sick relative that, at one point in time, my mother-in-law, when she was sick, had cancer, we moved in with her to take care of her, and for 3 months. Now, my question is, at what point in time did that constitute she was renting property to us, or that we were living there as tenants? You know, how does this affect a homeowner?
Again,
The law needs to be totally clarified as to how it affects the homeowner.
again, we can't answer, the sponsor of the bill is not here. I'm sorry,
I
but,
think
yeah.
the county councilor, no, I think she answered that earlier when,
It's still kind of iffy in my mind.
okay.
No, ma'am, can you step back, please?
Sorry, you can't read my handwriting.
And Ms. Panett will be after you.
Well, in 3 minutes, I don't think I can sufficiently address this august body, but I'll skip with the greetings and go with some of the points. Some of the points I had for this particular bill on the housing, which I'm wondering why I'm going to right now, seeing the sponsors here and can't address them anyway. But I'll go through some of my points. I don't see anything. There is actually an exemption process on it for up to your second conjuguity, or I guess your grandchildren. However, what happens if you if you have a mother in hospice and you have to have a caretaker move in with her for a while? It's not addressed. You can't bring in healthcare workers. You can't bring in if you want to bring in an exchange student, you can't do that. If you have a friend that's in need, that lost a job, that lost whatever, you can't do that. And while you can get an exemption that will allow, it spells out in the bill, is you can get an exemption for your child or whatever for the short term while a situation exists. Well, if you got a daughter that's been abused by her husband, she comes home, she stays with you, the husband gets sober or whatever, they go back, the situation no longer exists. You then have to, if she gets in trouble, he gets in trouble again, she moves back in with you, you have to get another exemption over and over and over. There's more government paperwork. There may not be a quote unquote cost to it, but there is a paperwork cost for every paper that's passed through this office or whatever office is doing it. There's who enforces it, this licensing process. It may create a few jobs, but it costs the government, it costs us. It takes out of your budget, it takes out of my pocket. It doesn't define how you define a reimbursement, not necessarily through cash reimbursement. If you got a sick kid and some of her friends want to stay over, and they're making your kid happy or whatever, is that a reimbursement for letting the kids stay over and providing pizza and whatever? The law is sufficiently vague that I do not see that it could stand up to scrutiny under the courts that have said that vague laws cannot stand up. And while I've said this and whatever, I wish that the sponsor was here, we could talk to him and get some work. I can't. But thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Lisa Panett, followed by Ian Zink.
Hi, council. First of all, I want to say that I expect some level of transparency from my government, and I never seem to get it. And it's super frustrating as an individual that's an active citizen, which I think you guys all know that I am. I called all the council members here tonight. I did receive minimal response back. Mr. Dooley, I'm thankful to say John Bosch was very responsive to my phone call. And so I want to bring you guys all the way back to when we started this as a pre-bill. And basically you berated us in the pre-bill about what this was, not you, but berated about, I think you remember, about what this was, and certainly O'Mara does, about when we said, we don't like this bill, this licensing bill, give us details. And they said, we won't even talk about this because it's a pre-bill. So it went from a pre-bill to what it is now, and there's no transparency. When we try to get transparency from you, when we call your office, there isn't any. We have to guess what the bill means that's filled with all the legalese. So I'm going to tell you what your representative told me this bill was about, okay? When I said, I have a primary residence, see, that I own my home, and now I want to bring in a sick relative or a friend or whoever. I want to help somebody off the street, okay? I just want to help somebody because I'm a Christian. So I bring them in, and I want to help them. Do I have to get a license? And the answer was yes. And I said, even though no money changed hands under this lease agreement. And the answer was yes, and still is yes. That is wrong. I mean, I don't know where you guys are coming up with this stuff, but this is wrong. This is bipartisan wrong. There's not Democrats that want it, Republicans, I don't care what you call yourself, strawberry shortcake. They don't want this. I just don't understand where you come up with it. It says you make it unlawful to assist a person with how to run a license. Really? I mean, is this what you're going to spend your time doing? You talk about no cost. Well, that's not true either, because there's going to be a cost assessed when you go in there and you're not up to whatever code that you've come up with at the moment. And by the way, assessed in the bill, it says that there's $1,000 a day fine plus jail for a year. Plus, okay, under this. Plus, is that not a cost? Is it not a cost when you have to provide all these things to get it up to code? And is this not an attack upon the poor? I just don't understand. Always attacking the poor. I mean, this council is supposed to be representative of Democrats more than Republicans on here. And supposedly all I hear is they're for the poor. Really? Where are you for the poor? You want to kick the poor people out? More homeless? You want more homeless? Is that what we want?
3 minutes, Madam Chair.
I just don't understand. I wish you guys would give some clarity, at least when I'm up here, because I can't get it on the phone.
Thank you. Ian Zink, and the next speaker will be Ken Meyer.
Thank you. Actually, I just wanted to come up and speak against Bill 73 as well. I think it's, especially with St. Louis, recently kind of getting a black eye in the national media over the Lyft debacle. We don't need another one with Airbnb. So I think we should keep our regulations low, and please ask that you vote against Bill 73. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Ken Meyer, will be followed by Jennifer Byrd.
Thank you, Honorable County Executive Dooley, for allowing me the opportunity to speak, and you, Mr. Stenger, as my representative, to make my comments. I think I'll tell you a little story about how I came to St. Louis and what happened to me when I came here in 1960 to go to work for International Shoe Company for $50 a week. I was looking for a place to sleep. I found a lady over on 3934 Junietta. She took care of children from the Lutheran Family and Children's Service, over 100 babies she adopted or had prior to them going out for adoption. She was kind enough to let me stay there for $6 a week. If I had an opportunity to help someone who was in a similar situation as I was, would I not be allowed to have anyone I choose to come in and live in my home and pay a reasonable amount of rent? I just think we have too many regulations on the books, and we don't need one more regulation. And just as a sidebar, I'll share with you that I live in a condominium development, Summer Ridge Condominium Association. Last year, we had to put up some additional signs in our swimming pool area. There are a total of 15 signs in there, including one that says, "No swimming alone." Well, half of our residents are single people, okay? And the inspector from the health department told me that if he caught me in the swimming pool, he would make me get out because there was not another person in the pool. You see what I'm saying, folks? Please don't put another silly bill that we don't need. Bill 70, I think 73, is that correct? And Councilman Stenger, I hope you'll be in the forefront of voicing your opinion on that issue, because you're my representative, and I expect you to at least hear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Jennifer Byrd, followed by Teresa Douglas.
Thank you for taking my comments. I won't belabor the point, but I do want to say that even though Mr. O'Mara is not here, I was disappointed with the semantics games we seemed to play back and forth back when this was a pre-bill. So unfortunately, it proceeded right through as I guess we should have expected and did sort of anticipate. Of course, I'm speaking about substitute bill number 1 for 73. I know that standing up for people's property rights isn't very popular, although this is frustrating to me because it presupposes that government is the sayer of all that happens on property, and they are the grantor of privileges to the person who pays for the property. So I'm opposed to it for that. But more than that, I think that it's an affront to poor people, to lower income earners, and even the lower middle class, to say what someone can or cannot do with their property, and others have already mentioned this, so again, I won't belabor, but I will refresh. Having people stay in your home when you're trying to help them, caring for a sick or dying relative or friend. I just had a friend in North County who stayed for 3 weeks with a friend while he passed away last Saturday morning. So having this bill, to me, is an affront to poor people, and I think that it should be, I think once it gets, I see its imperfection now, so I'm sure it's going to go through this process, but I urge you to vote no and put it to rest. Thank you. And I wish you luck, Ms. Irby. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Next speaker is Teresa Douglas, followed by Joe Passanese.
Hello, council members. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm down in the Lima area. I'm in Stenger's district. I want to address both Bill 72 and 73, the nuisance part as well as the licensing part. The nuisance part of it, I must admit, you have in this bill found a solution to a problem of mine, but it may not be the best solution for my neighbors. I happen to have neighbors who own a dog. And this dog, for some reason, loves to bark at every bird that lands in their tree. And so while I work out of my house, I hear a dog barking every time there's a bird or a squirrel in their tree. And so it becomes quite a nuisance. But I happen to like animals. I do not call the police. But if I really want a solution to my problem, all I have to do is, under this ordinance, just make a few phone calls. I have other neighbors that complain too, but they haven't contacted the police, and we'd be totally done with the problem. I mean, that renter would have to be forced out of his home, but there's another problem that would create. This is a problem to the landlords. The people that own that house is a young couple. They have a 2-year-old little boy. They work hard. They've worked hard to try to get where they're going. They had to buy another house in order to move and relocate for their job. If they lose that tenant, who happens to be a family member of theirs, actually several family members, it means they will no longer be able to afford the house that they just purchased. Okay, so now we not only, if I complain because of a barking dog, we're going to have the 3 people, current residents of that home, that are going to be without a place to live. And then we're going to have the landlords who will probably, in all likelihood, lose that house and the house they currently live in for them and their child. So we're talking about ending up with 5 or 6 homeless individuals because I complained about a barking dog. Is this really what we want our county to become? I think that we need to use some common sense here. We need to consider the rights and the authority that people have in their property and their property rights to own property as they see fit. And the county shouldn't control each and everything that we do in our lives. You know, the licensing part of it, again, you're hurting poor people all the way around. This is a bad bill. It hurts poor people. And I just don't see how you can justify it. You know, and the only people that would benefit from this perhaps is the hotel industry. I mean, and so if you want to help big business and give business to hotels, that would be great. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
Last speaker this evening is Joe Passanese.
I read the document earlier today. I was a little bit shocked by it. I didn't realize that we needed another layer of government that would require policing our neighbors. Maybe the police department would have to have another squad to make sure people are obeying this ordinance. And this might be especially troublesome for maybe a man who has a woman living with him. They're not married, but there's a woman living with that same place. Or vice versa, maybe a woman with a man living with her. John Locke, one of our forefathers, said, property, ownership of property is sacred. If we jeopardize that by government changing the rules that would make government more possessive of our property than the individuals, what will government become? John Locke says it will become a tyranny, a dictatorship. Sir, Council, I hope that's not the direction we're going in. Please reconsider this bill and vote it down for the people of this county. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that will conclude the public forum. We'll move to introduction of bills.
Bill number 87, introduced by Councilmember Erby, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to accept 4 grants totaling up to $488,707 from the Office of National Drug Control Policy, appropriating the same to support of police functions related to drug law enforcement, and authorizing the county executive to execute necessary documents. Bill number 88, introduced by Councilmember Erby, an ordinance amending ordinance number 23,211 by repealing sections 2 and 3 and reenacting section 2 pertaining to a contract with the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services for summer food program inspections, appropriating funds received. Bill number 89, introduced by Councilmember Erby, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to accept a donation of up to $5,000 from Enterprise Holdings for a family court foster parent appreciation event, appropriating the donation for support of said event. Bill number 90, introduced by Councilmember Erby, an ordinance amending Chapter 725, Title 7, St. Louis County Revised Ordinances 1974 as amended St. Louis County Emergency Communication System Commission by enacting 8 new sections pertaining to microwave path protection. Bill number 91, introduced by Councilmembers Wassinger and Quinn, an ordinance revising the St. Louis County arterial road system under Chapter 1105 St. Louis County Revised Ordinances 1974 as amended by adding thereto and deleting therefrom portions of Ladue Road and South Woodsville Road. Bill number 92, introduced by Councilmember Erby, an ordinance amending Chapter 1003, Title 10 St. Louis County Revised Ordinances 1974 as amended zoning ordinance by deleting therefrom Section 1003.300 and enacting in lieu thereof a new section pertaining to the same subject matter. Bill number 93, introduced by Councilmember Stanger, an ordinance amending ordinance number 7,251 as amended by repealing and reenacting Section 2 pertaining to PC 50-74, Cartco Incorporated. Bill number 94, introduced by Councilmember Stanger, an ordinance amending ordinance number 12,221 as amended by repealing and reenacting Section 2 pertaining to PC 106-85, David and Barbara Munganast. Bill number 95, introduced by Councilmember Stanger, an ordinance amending ordinance number 12,500 as amended by repealing and reenacting Section 3 pertaining to PC 111-85, Mills Properties. Bill number 96, introduced by Councilmember Stanger, an ordinance amending ordinance number 21,768 by repealing and reenacting Section 2 pertaining to PC 83-03, Land Solutions Incorporated. Bill number 97, introduced by Councilmember Stanger, an ordinance amending the St. Louis County zoning ordinance and the official zoning district maps by changing the boundaries of the R5 Residence District and the C1 Neighborhood Shopping District as provided herein, PC 04-14, Thomas Kemplin. Madam Chair, that is all the bills.
Perfection of bills.
Bill number 8, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
Please hold.
So ordered.
Bill number 69, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
Hold on Bill 69, and that will be the order.
Substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 73, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
Please hold.
So ordered.
Bill number 74, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move for perfection of Bill number 74.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 74 is perfected.
Bill number 75, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move for perfection of Bill number 75.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 75 is perfected.
Bill number 76, introduced by Councilmembers Erby and Wassinger.
I move for perfection of Bill number 76.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 76 is perfected.
Bill number 77, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move for perfection of Bill number 77.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 77 is perfected.
Bill number 78, introduced by Councilmember Wassinger.
I move to perfect Bill number 78.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 78 is perfected.
Bill number 79, introduced by Councilmember Quinn.
Like to take it up, I move perfection of Bill number 79.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 79 is perfected.
Bill number 80, introduced by Councilmember Quinn.
Like to take it up, I move perfection of Bill number 80.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 80 is perfected.
Bill number 81, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
I move to perfect Bill number 81.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 81 is perfected.
Bill number 82, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move for perfection of Bill number 82.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 82 is perfected.
Bill number 83, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move for perfection of Bill number 83.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 83 is perfected.
Bill number 84, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move for perfection of Bill number 84.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 84 is perfected.
Bill number 85, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
I move to perfect Bill number 85.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 85 is perfected.
Bill number 86, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara.
Move to perfect Bill number 86.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 86 is perfected. Final passage of bills.
Bill number 330, introduced by Councilmember Burkett.
Hold on Bill number 330. That will be the order.
Bill number 57, introduced by Councilmember Stanger.
I move for final passage of bill number 57.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on bill number 57, there are 5 ayes and 1 absent.
Bill number 57 is finally passed.
Bill number 60, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
At this time, I move for final passage of Bill number 60.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on bill number 60, there are 5 ayes and 1 absent.
Bill number 60 is finally passed.
Bill number 61, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
Move for final passage of Bill number 61.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on bill number 61, there are 5 ayes and 1 absent.
Bill number 61 is finally passed.
Bill number 62, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move for final passage of Bill number 62.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on bill number 62, there are 5 ayes and 1 absent.
Bill number 62 is finally passed.
Bill number 63, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move for final passage of Bill number 63.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on bill number 63, there are 5 ayes and 1 absent.
Bill number 63 is finally passed.
Bill number 64, introduced by Councilmember Stanger.
I move for final passage of bill number 64.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on bill number 64, there are 5 ayes and 1 absent.
Bill number 64 is finally passed.
Bill number 65, introduced by Councilmember Quinn.
Like to take it up, I move final passage of Bill number 65.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on bill number 65, there are 5 ayes and 1 absent.
Bill number 65 is finally passed.
Bill number 66, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move for final passage of Bill number 66.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on bill number 66, there are 5 ayes and 1 absent.
Bill number 66 is finally passed.
Bill number 67, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
Move for final passage of Bill number 67.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on bill number 67, there are 5 ayes and 1 absent.
Bill number 67 is finally passed.
Bill number 68, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move for final passage of Bill number 68.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on bill number 68, there are 5 ayes and 1 absent.
Bill number 68 is finally passed.
Bill number 70, introduced by Councilmember Dolan.
I move for final passage of Bill number 70.
Second. Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on bill number 70, there are 5 ayes and 1 absent.
Bill number 70 is finally passed.
Bill number 71, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
I move for final passage of Bill number 70.
Second.
Sorry,
Councilmember,
Bill number 71.
71. Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on bill number 71, there are 5 ayes and 1 absent.
Bill number 71 is finally passed.
Bill number 72, introduced by Councilmember O'Meara. Madam Chair, we have a substitute bill.
Please read the substitute bill.
Substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 72, introduced by Councilmember Dolan for O'Meara, an ordinance amendment in Chapter 1110, Title 10, St. Louis County Revised Ordinances 1974 has amended the Property Maintenance Code by enacting and adding thereto one new section pertaining to denial of occupancy permits.
Move for adoption of substitute bill number 1 for bill number 72.
All in favor? Oh, I'm sorry.
Second.
The second?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's adoption of the amendment.
Okay,
Threw me off track.
I'm sorry.
All in favor? Is-
You said all.
Okay. Substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 72 is adopted.
You didn't
Isn't it-
call for opposed, Madam Chair.
Oh, I'm sorry. All
That was-
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are we
Opposed?
hold it? Where are
That's,
we?
No,
that was just for the adoption of
Just the
substitute
adoption.
bill.
Are
Right.
you moving to perfect it now?
if you vote yes, that doesn't mean you're voting for it. It's just to adopt the bill.
Just to adopt.
The substitute bill.
Substitute bill.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this again. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 72 is adopted. Are we gonna vote on the bill?
Holding it for final passes, is that what you're doing? It's being held? Okay.
Are you gonna do final pass? You gonna hold it? Okay. Okay. Bill number 72 will be held.
And moving on to resolutions, Madam Chair, we have 3 this evening. Resolution number 1, introduced by Councilmembers Wassinger, Stanger, and Quinn.
Please read the resolution.
Resolution, whereas Joseph A. Frank has earned his reputation as one of our area's most successful and respected trial attorneys and is among the strongest supporters of the organized bar. And whereas Joe is a proven leader of a number of organizations dedicated to the improvement of his profession and its ability to serve the needs of the community. And whereas the confidence in his abilities held by his peers in the legal field has resulted in Joe's election as president of the Bar Association of Metropolitan St. Louis. And whereas the county council finds it appropriate to applaud the wise choice and leadership made by the members of BAMSL, now therefore be it resolved by the County Council of St. Louis County, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the county council congratulates Joseph A. Frank on his election as president of the Bar Association of Metropolitan St. Louis and extends its best wishes for a successful term in office.
I move to adopt resolution number 1.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye, and congratulations to your husband, Jen.
Thank you.
I figured it was a Frank something around here somewhere. Frankly speaking.
The only one we've ever read the whole thing for.
There you go.
Oh, that's a lot Pat knows. I said, is that Jen's husband? He said, no, her husband's name is Steve.
Right, that's-
I
Because
don't
I'm
know-
wondering
I don't
why
know
we're not
Steve.
all on there,
I
but
don't
I
know
guess you
Steve.
just wanna, can we
Get
all
the
be on
attorney.
there?
Oh, yeah.
We'd like to be on there.
Yep, I'd like to.
Thank
We'll add the additional sponsors. Thank you, Madam. Councilmember O'Meara, Councilmember Dolan,
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger,
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
On resolution number 1, there are 5 ayes and 1 absent.
Resolution number 1 is adopted.
And Madam Chair, we did not take a roll call vote on resolution number 2 at the beginning of the meeting. Did you want to take a roll call vote on that?
We
now?
didn't? Okay, go ahead.
Resolution number 2, introduced by Councilmembers Erby, Wassinger, Dolan for O'Meara, Dolan, Stanger, and Quinn.
And that's for our special guests, the Delta ladies. Roll call.
I'll move adoption of the resolution.
Oh,
Move adoption.
Second.
I thought we did.
Councilmember
I'm
Erby?
sorry.
Do it again. Go loud up and do it twice.
Aye.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara, Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on resolution number 2, there are 5 ayes and 1 absent.
Resolution number 2 is adopted. Congratulations, Delta ladies.
Resolution number 3, introduced by Councilmember Erby.
Please read it.
Resolution, whereas Richard and Laura Connolly, to the regret of countless loyal lovers of great food, have announced their retirement and sale of their beloved Goody Goody Diner. And whereas while the St. Louis area icon will be turned over to good stewardship, those among us who know Goody Goody Diner as the closest thing to home will miss knowing that the Conleys are taking care of their dining needs. And whereas as the Conleys pass the spatula to the new owners, the county council desires to applaud all that Richard and Laura have done to enhance the reputation of St. Louis as a top-class restaurant town. Now therefore be it resolved by the county council of St. Louis County, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the county council congratulates Richard and Laura Connolly on the occasion of their retirement and wishes them much happiness and contentment in the years ahead.
I move for adoption of resolution number 3.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Erby?
Aye, I'm gonna miss them.
Councilmember Wassinger?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Meara? Councilmember Dolan?
Aye.
Councilmember Stanger?
Aye.
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on resolution number 3, there are 5 ayes and 1 absent.
Resolution number 3 is adopted.
Moving on to unfinished business, item number 1.
Unfinished business. Hold on the order of business, and that will be the order.
Item number 2, 6th District.
Receive, file, and the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 3, 6th District.
Receive, file, and the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Moving on to new business, Madam Chair, we have 3 prepared orders this evening.
Move for adoption of orders 1, 2, and 3.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Orders number 1, 2, and 3 are adopted.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned.